Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. My co-host is Zach. What's up, sir?
What up? How you doing?
I am really good because I've been waiting to do this podcast for about a week and a half now.
Yeah.
And I am super excited.
Me too.
So who do we got on today? I'll let you tell everybody who we got on.
Oh, we're going to welcome on Mr. Cody Bunderson, promoter for Fierce Fighting Championship, and coach, fighter, promoter, all the above.
Yeah. All around badass.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on again. I'm excited to get back on here again.
Yeah. So, Cody, what do you got for us?
Well, we're going to be doing another Maverick Center show.
Yes.
So, yep, another Maverick Center show. November 14th is the day we have it. Based on, I'll know by tonight. It's either going to be the 14th or the 21st, one of the two.
Okay.
Okay.
Just based, we were preferring the 21st. Someone else already has a date locked in, and if they're still canceling the show, then we'll move forward to the 21st. Otherwise, it's gonna be the 14th. So.
Oh, okay. So that could be that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump right to what everybody's question is gonna be. So what are you guys' feelings, confidence level, things like that with all the COVID? We're seeing testing, more positive tests go up. Is that a concern? What are the hiccups?
A little bit. I mean, I think all businesses and everyone should worry a little bit when you start seeing things, spike again, and that's something that's completely out of our control. But on our end, on the Maverick Center's end, as far as we're concerned, we're moving forward. They have a comedian coming, Bert. How's his last name?
Shyster?
Yeah. He's coming October 7th. So I mean, they've already booked two, back-to-back shows for that, and they want to get the ball rolling. They want shows going again. They want things happening. They have the approval to have up to 3,000 people at the moment inside the arena. So we're going to plan on packing that and maxing out at that 3,000.
Very cool. What's that looking like attendance-wise versus your past shows?
Past shows, I think our last show we were somewhere in the 2,100 to 2,400 range.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number on that, but I think with the card that we're going to announce here, I think we sell out, honestly. With everyone we have on here, we're going to be busting at the gills, and I'm hoping that maybe, between now and then, we might even be able to up that with the other 3,000, just because of the people who we have on there. And it's such a fantastic card that's Utah hasn't seen a card like this in a long, long time.
So can we get into it and talk about
it? Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to talk about the one that I really want to talk about is with the guy sitting. Well, he's not sitting next to me, but he's right next to me on the screen.
Yeah.
On the card. So
yeah, absolutely. Zach's going to come and angle for our 185-pound amateur belt against undefeated Johan Rubio.
So. Yeah, and Johan just fought Zach's teammate.
Yeah, Tanner Hines.
Beat Tanner, tough kid, undefeated kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fit on card, and I think Zach feels he matches up a little bit better than him, and I'm excited. I think Zach matches up better against him stylistically. But I think that's a fantastic fight right there.
Yeah, it's a good fight, and I know Zach's had some tough fights in the past.
Yeah.
But I think this is a step up for Zach. I mean, would you agree, Zach? Or with
it's a good test. I don't care who you are. If you're at some point when your opponent's 8-0, you're going to be he's tough.
He's super tough. I trained with Tanner, and he took some of Tanner's best shots when I've seen a lot of most people wilt at those shots.
Yeah. I mean, he got cracked a few times, and I was like, how's that dude still standing there?
He got cracked. I think, there was one point where he was pretty near. I don't think he knew where he was for a second on one of them.
For sure. He saw some points,
but I mean, he pushed through, and he's a tough kid. I have a lot of respect for him and his gym. And I think, for me as a competitor, what interests me so much about that fight is I think he's my toughest opponent that I've had for sure. And like, man, I'm just like a lot of people, we're all chomping at the bit, right?
Yeah.
And but I love feeling like I'm the underdog in this fight. I love feeling like he's supposed to win. He's 8-0. You know, I'm 4-1. Like it's a good fight, I think, for both of us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have nothing but respect for the kid and his gym. Obviously, you know, Jeremy Horn's in his corner,
Yeah,
legend of the sport, which is freaking cool. Like for me, as just a fan of the sport, I think it's freaking cool to be fighting against a guy with Jeremy Horn in the other corner, you know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's all upside for me. Like there's no downside for this fight. So, and I'm just like I said, I think it's going to be a super hard fight. It's not a fight where I feel like, you know, that I could just easily get him out in the first round or second round, whatever. Like I expect to.
That's what I love about having you on there. You know, is you asked for this fight, you wanted this fight. You know, you're not asking for easy opponents, and trust me, I've seen plenty of amateurs that have good records that are looking to still pad plenty of stuff. You know, I've seen plenty of coaches and you know, competitors where it's like, you know, you throw a tough fight, throw a tough name at their way, and it's like, you know, maybe they want to cherry pick you more. And as an amateur, now's the time to get out that experience. You know, I always tell my guys, you know, as they continue through some of their amateur through the rankings and things like that, I'm like, you have to go and fight the toughest guys. I want you to fight a Division I wrestler. I want you to fight, you know, a guy that's known for striking. I want you to find a guy that's, you know, just is really well, you know, well balanced. I want you to fight out of state. I want you to take a short notice fight. I want you to get all that experience out right now, because when you go pro, that's when it matters. You know what I mean? That's when your record really counts. And, you know, record be damned. You know, an amateur, obviously, you know, you're a competitor and you want to have a good record, and you know, you'd love to stay undefeated. You know, but you know, taking a loss, that's not a bad thing. You know, that's the only way that you grow, the only way that you get better. And you know, that's why I love about Zach. You know, he's taking on a guy that's, you know, 8-0, and you know, he wants that. You know, that's what's gonna be great for you and for your career.
Well, I know it wasn't quite the matchup Zach wanted initially, but I think this is going to kind of cure the itch that he's had for the last six months. Zach.
Yeah, I mean, since COVID, I mean, everybody's, you know, chomping.
February 21st.
February 21st. Yeah.
Not that I'm counting.
Not that you know what the date is or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I said everybody's been chomping at the bit. You know, we haven't said, you know, we put together that FitCon card, and you know, fortunately that went well. And you know, other than that, we haven't had anything back. You know, really flying our banner since, you know, back in February, back at the Maverick Center. And so people are, you know, I can't tell you how many fighters and coaches are knocking down your door just to, man, when's the show happen? It's like,
you know, I feel for you and for Kevin, and I know both of you guys are probably just so sick of just, I mean, seriously, on a scale of like, it's got to be at least a dozen messages a week, right?
Oh, yes. And then, you know, and you're just like, you know, and it's the same boat, you know. It's just, I'd love to, you know, say, okay, we're doing X amount of shows and this right there. But, you know, fortunately we are, you know, we are moving forward, you know, full steam ahead with the Maverick Center card. You know, I think even with the spikes right now that we're seeing, you know, even as is, you know, as long as it doesn't continue to, you know, get, you know, drastically above what it is right now, I think we're going to see it start coming down again. I think one of the good things is too, though, even though with the recent spikes, is that, you know, we're still seeing less deaths. Even though there has been more positive deaths, so that's a step in the right direction as well. But yeah, we're moving full steam ahead.
So I'm one amateur fight. We got one title fight.
You want to talk about a couple more amateur fights first, then get to the pro card, or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, okay, So we're going to look at, I think I've just added one more amateur fight. So what we have planned right now is probably we'll start the show around 6 o'clock. We'll do the amateurs between 6 and 7, and then start the pro card around 7 o'clock is what I'm forecasting. But we got 2 more title fights on the card. Another one of Zach's teammates, Cole Fost. Actually, going to be fighting one of my fighters that trains under me, Blanca. So I mean, that's 2, you know, phenomenal grapplers, 2 great wrestlers. Stylistically, it's a great matchup. You know, both great competitors. You know, I've actually seen one of Cole's fights before where we're still fists. Man, it's going to be think that fight's going to be really good.
That's going to be a damn good fight. Like, I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the fight to make for Cole, because quite frankly, he hasn't really been in there with anybody yet that could really give him anything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And fighting somebody like Blanca with the experience that he has, I just think that is an appropriate step for Cole that he needs to.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, even with my guy win or lose, I mean, that's going to help Cole, see, where he's at, if he goes and beats Blanca, and he's like, okay, then he definitely is, not saying that he's not the real deal or anything, but it's a good stepping stone, a good, test for him, a good test for Blanca, to see where he's at, to see where he's made the corrections, coming off a couple losses, to see, where he's at too. And, because we're on the verge, thinking about Blanca going pro, and we need to make sure that he's making the right adjustments before we do make that decision. So I think it'll be a great test for both guys.
Man, Blanca's got to be a little bit in the same boat like my buddy Tanner, right? Tanner's lost his last 2 fights.
Yeah.
But they're both title fights.
Same thing.
They're not losing. They're not losing to punks, right?
No,
Blanca, and I'm sure that weighs a little bit on Blanca. Like I talked a little bit of Tanner. I just, you're used to winning. You kind of get to that level and you're used to winning. Yeah,
all of a sudden you won 5, 6 in a row or something.
And now you're hitting these title fight, and you're fighting tough dudes where it's like just the littlest adjustments either way can turn those fights at.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
At the top level of the amateur level, right?
But like I said before, going back to my point is if you're going to have a successful pro career, you better get those tough fights out of you right now, because there's going to be, nothing's going to be these days, I mean, you might use your first couple pro fights, every now and then, you might get built up a little bit. But, you're going to run into nothing but tough guys moving forward. So it's best to get all that experience out right now.
I'm excited for that fight. I think it's a great fight.
Yeah.
For both of them.
I mean, we haven't even got to the pro fights yet, and we're already on fire.
So I'll save the one. We have another 175-pound fight. A guy from Horns and a guy from Absolute MMA that we all, I think is a guy named David Fox, I believe, from Jeremy Horns. And the guy Zach Trujillo from Absolute MMA. He'll be making his AMI debut. But let's get into the other title fight. I know you like this one. Our boy Boomer, out from Tooele, Boomer Ariano, is going to step up to 135 pounds and fight Brandon Hansvik from Empire.
Oh,
wow! That's a big step up.
I mean, Hansvik, my guy Mason just fought Hansvik for the
he's
title at BitCon, and I mean, it's, we're Mason and Boomer like this, Mason and Boomer are guys that walk around at, 125, 135 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
And, when Hansvik came in, he was, the day of the fight, he was a big dude. He was easily back up to 150 pounds.
Yeah, he looked big and strong.
Yeah, really big, so it's going to be, but, Boomer's so talented and aggressive and technical and things like that. That it's a great challenge for Boomer. It really is.
He's another one that kind of hasn't had that test yet, really.
He really hasn't had that test. And I think it'll be, especially from a size perspective. I think it's one of those. I think Boomer's definitely probably the more technical fighter. But he's going to be giving up a lot of size and weight in this fight.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see, how that plays out. But another great matchup right there for a title fight.
Man, it's already good, man. And we're only talking about 3 fights.
Yeah, it's already getting good.
Just amateur fights, because
just the amateur. We haven't even gotten into the pro fights yet. This is crazy.
Yeah. And so I'll give you the match. It's like contracts have been going out over yesterday and today, and I don't foresee anything else falling out and whatnot. But as of right now, we're looking at about 13 pro fights right now.
Whew.
13?
13, yeah.
Man.
Well, so, I mean, I messaged you, right?
Yeah.
Because Mr. Steven Seiler, probably one of the bigger names locally in Utah, because of his run on The Ultimate Fighter and the UFC, and then, World Series of Fight and PFL.
Yeah. PFL finalist, yeah.
PFL finalist. And he says, I think it's time to come back home and fight at home. And I went, well, that's probably going to be a fierce card.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Who do you have for Mr. Steven?
For Mr. Steven Seiler, we have our Grand Prix champion, Mr. Bobby King.
Oh,
yeah!
Wow. We were talking, Zach and I'm like, gosh, they got to be bringing somebody in for him, because I couldn't think of anybody that would match up.
So
but
he's our 155-pound Grand Prix champion from when we did our RFFC Grand Prix, where he won that, and he won it. I mean, we were doing the bonuses every round, and that final round, it was the way the format went. He ended up with $2,500 show, $2,500 to win, and then got another $2,500 for finish bonus. So $7,500 that night. So just in that, and then the guy brings rock star status tickets with him too. So
his last fight that he had there was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal fight.
Yeah. So Bobby King and Steven Seiler is going to be our main event.
Man,
so
I got the chills. You can't see it because I don't.
Man,
this is one where it's like, I'm super grateful that I'm going to be on the amateur side of things.
Yeah.
We get done with my fight.
Oh man.
And then I could just go sit in the stands and just freaking watch.
Yep, exactly. So it's going to be, any one of the, honestly, I've got, 6, well, as we go down through this, and a number of these other fights could easily be a main event too. So it turned out to be a fantastic card, and, we're super excited to, maybe for a night, not worried about everything else that's going on in the world and all this COVID and all this.
We need it, man.
But man, that's what we need. Like that. Like people, like I've tried to explain to so many people, and they're like, so, like how's fighting, when's fighting? And so I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, we're all dying for something to like.
Yes.
We're all like, we all want it.
Yeah.
And it's not, and they're like, and the promoters aren't putting on fights. Like I feel for Kevin and Pat, like, and you guys haven't been able to, and whatever. It's like everybody wants it. It's like whether it can make it happen. So we're all itching, and they're gonna. I mean, I hope fans realize what they're gonna see, because and one thing that I have noticed too, I think you're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see fighters that have been training this whole time, and then the fighters who took the time off too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's the cage doesn't lie. So
cage don't lie.
And you'll see as a number of guys that are going to be on the card. There's going to be some guys that haven't trained for a long time, but they're coming back for a fight. Because again, we started moving forward with our showdown tribute, our tribute to Will. So you're going to see some old guys from the showdown days that are on the card.
Steven Sharp.
Steve Sharp.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a throwback.
Yeah, Steve Sharp. So, and I'll tell you this, I really like. Steve has a new opponent now. He's going to be fighting William Dunkel from Idaho.
Okay.
Originally, he was fighting Carson Hardman, but it sucks. The Carson's manager called me yesterday, day before. And there was a mix-up between him, some other agents within their agency, and one of the other agents went and got Carson signed to another promotion for a multi-fight deal. I don't know what promotion it is. I'm assuming with the multi-fight deal, it's going to be a much bigger promotion.
Wow.
LFA, Bellator, I don't know, where it is, what it is. But, he called, apologized to me for that, because, he had Carson committed to the Steve Sharp fight. But, and that's just is what it is. So we're able to find a replacement for Steve Sharp, so William Dunkel out of Idaho. I've worked with his coaching team before, so everything I know Dunkel's a tough kid. I think he's fought on Steel Fist before too. So, but tough kid. But we're excited to get Razor back on there.
Dude, he used to pack the house back in the day. I mean, that's a throwback right there. Yeah,
he's one of my very first training partners I ever had when I first got into MMA.
Really?
Years ago, yeah, like 2005 or 6 when I first started training. Steve was one of the first guys that was just beating the shit out of me, and I'm like, just kind of one of these big brothers to me. So I'm super excited to get Steve back on there.
It's awesome.
We have let's see, let's go with another old showdown guy that was fought back in the day. Jason South's going to be on the card.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Like it.
Yeah, Jason South's going to be on the card. We're confirming his opponent right now. The guy's already basically said he's in, but a guy named Hayward Charles from Colorado.
Okay.
That's what we're looking like. I think he's something like, I think he's had a lot of fights, something like 17 and 13 or something like that.
Okay.
But another guy that's been around for a long time, and it's like, it was tough to find him a fight because I'm trying to explain this, some of the fighters. I'm like, well, he's 40, 41, 42, or however old he is now. He's looking to come back, maybe do one more fight. But then they see his record where he's 13-2, and they're like, coaches look at that and they're like, I don't give a damn how old he is. He's 13-2,
Yeah.
13-2 and if you look at his resume, he's lost, the guys he lost to are like in the UFC, Gilbert Smith, Sam Alvey, that's it. That's his list.
Yeah. So, he's a phenomenal black belt. I've rolled with him. Dude's a wizard on the mat. Tough as hell in the cage. So super excited to get Jason South back on the card.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah, we have another old showdown guy, Jerome Hatch, is going to be back on the card.
I know who he's fighting.
Jerome Hatch and Zach Cavender. So.
Holy smokes.
Yep, Jerome Hatch and Zach Cavender. So that'll be.
You could literally just stop right there and the place is sold out. Like
yeah,
literally could.
Yep,
you're making me blush. I know I saw that.
light heavyweight, 205. So that's a pretty interesting matchup. Cavender's coming off a loss, but Hatch hasn't fought in a few years, and Hatch is always he's a brawler. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cavender's 2 losses. No, he did. Did he have one? Did he get after the LFA? Zach. He beat Eric after LFA.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. So he's
But it's I don't know if Zach's. I think he's fought a guy that's like maybe as aggressive or as brawly as Hatch. But I think Zach might be on the more technical, athletic sort of end. Hatch brings that aggression, and he's not the guy that you want to take a punch from.
Yeah, that speaks volumes, man. That aggression.
But I'm really excited for that matchup. I think it'd be a good win for Zach. Hatch is an old seasoned veteran, and that's definitely a good notch to have on your belt.
For sure.
As far as opponents go, so that's pretty excited about that one. Also have Skylar Frazier, the Utah kid, coming back to fight Weston Wilson. So these two have always kind of jawed back and forth over the years, and they fought when they were amateurs. And Weston caught Skylar in a triangle back on like a Total Mayhem show. Skylar's he's always wanted this rematch, and it seemed nothing could ever get lined up, but stars aligned for this one. And I know Skylar wants this win bad. This is, if he had one fight to pick, you could ask anyone who wanted to fight, it'd be Weston Wilson. So it's going to be a good fight right there. So excited about that one. We have Fabio Stejao and Dex Montenegro. Dex is Bobby King's jiu-jitsu coach, black belt. He's actually out of Washington, but comes down and does a lot of training with Bobby, and does his fight camps down here. And
that'll be phenomenal matchup.
Yeah, two very high world-class black belts going at it. So super excited about that one. What else we have here?
Holy crap, Cody.
Yeah. This
is crazy.
We have Mitch Ramirez and Trevor Bradshaw.
Oh! Woo!
So Mitch had the we talked about on that last show what happened with Mitch with the
1,000% chance somebody gets knocked out.
That fight's not going the distance.
The over
1,000%.
The over under
1,000%,
1.5 rounds. It's under 1.5 rounds. That's not making it to 2 rounds.
I don't think it goes out of the
guys.
I don't think it goes out of the first round. Yeah,
I've talked about that fight before with Jason. Like, I mean, 155, like Mitch and Trevor, like they're
I mean, with Brad's fight going down to 55 now, you know, he looked really good his last fight at 55.
Great.
Trevor at 50. Trevor at 55 he's dangerous, man. He
was. I mean, the guy he fought, Randy Rowland. I mean, that guy's a really, really good striker.
Yeah,
phenomenal striker, and you know, ended up catching him that last fight. And damn, Trevor looked good that last fight.
Yeah.
So.
Oh
man.
Yeah.
Wow. Just.
We have. Let's see. Joel Harrell's going to make his pro debut.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, against Hava Nathan Owens. So out of Maury Academy.
Sweet. My money's on Joel. I hate that little.
So
I don't like that guy.
That's Joel. I mean, Joel's a phenomenal. I mean, he's extremely well rounded too. But yeah, I mean, that's on paper right there. That's a damn good fight.
That's a big fight.
Chris boxing, and that's a good fight right there. We have Sula Kukovatakis. She's going to fight Brittany Gilman.
Okay.
So Brittany's going to make her pro debut against Sula.
Oh, she's going pro.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right.
She's going to make her pro debut against Sula. So,
okay.
Yeah. I said she's acting.
Don't start, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's so good.
Yeah, we had
I'm so excited and happy for her.
Mm-hmm. So that's going down. Thomas T-Train Prestridge. He's going to make his pro debut against Kesley Collard.
Wow, he's making his pro debut too. Nice. Yeah. Good for him, man.
Yeah, they both Kesley and Thomas will make their pro debut.
Okay.
Those two actually fought on a show down here in Price. It was back when South Valley Slam was doing shows, and I was the main event that night. I fought some dude from Wyoming and choked him out, but
time out. Can I stop you right there? Stop you right there? You know, you've been around a while and that you're a complete badass when you're like, I was the main event, not some Wyoming dude choked him out.
Honestly, I can't.
He's like nonchalantly, don't even remember the name. Nothing.
Couldn't tell you his name, but that was a good fight. But no, Thomas and Kesley fought that night, and Thomas ended up getting DQ'd from dick kicks.
Oh.
And there was a couple that landed, but I think there was some controversy. I think from what I remember and seeing, Kesley looked like he was gassing a little bit, and sometimes it looked like it was an inside leg kick, and was kind of playing it off as, actually like get hit in the nuts. And I think some landed. I don't think some landed. So there's definitely some controversy there. And then the fight actually getting waved off because, saying one more lands, we're going to call it, and whether it landed or didn't. But neither here nor there. It was amateur, but those two are going to make their pro debuts against each other. So
wow.
Really excited for that fight to see those guys kind of get to settle the score on that one from having a little bit of controversy back in the day.
That's cool. So do you realize you have two sets of couples?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Brittany and Owens midget. And and then you have
Mitch and Sula.
In his Sula.
Yep.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's
sorry, my head just exploded a little. I'm sorry. Okay.
Another really good two pro debuts is Julian Ruiz, and Julius Tashini.
Okay.
Wow. So Julian's going pro now, huh?
Yeah, Julian's going to go pro against Julius Tashini. Julius Tashini was our 145-pound amateur champ.
Okay.
And then Julian Ruiz, both who's fought for us before too. And so,
wow.
Yeah, it actually Tashini holds a win over Julian from when they were amateurs. The show was out in Vernal years and years ago, and I was actually at that show just watching, and Tashini guillotined Ruiz, and it was like 20 seconds into the fight. It was pretty quick. it was a guillotine or triangle or something. But I mean, I know that they're both completely different fighters. You know, they're Julian. I think it was
Julian's hands are ridiculous now.
Yeah, they were. You know, he was just training at a really not even a gym out in Vernal back then, moving to Salt Lake, and you know, his training with the pit and UCTC and his boxing. And I mean, it's just, you know, the guy's, you know, he's tough.
His hands are sick.
His hands are sick. Yeah. Absolutely. So, dude's, you know, Shini's no joke, man. He's he beat Blanca. He just fought for another belt up in Montana like a couple weeks ago. Beat the dude. I don't think he actually got the belt because he came in overweight by.
Oh yeah, I actually saw that fight.
A pound or something. So it wasn't actually technically for the title, but beat the dude. And so I mean, he's you know, he's tough. So that's you know, and I know, you know, Julian's always wanted that fight back, you know, so it's it'll be good, you know, for those two to run it back. So got Marco Sanchez is gonna fight a guy from Vegas. His nickname's Tiki. Next his full name, Israel Tiki. Israel Tiki Aquino. So Marco Sanchez will be on the card.
That's another good one too.
Yeah. So, and then Robbie Minor is going to make his pro debut as well.
Oh, he's going pro too. Nice. Good for Robbie, man.
Yeah, against a guy named Alex Ponier out of Vegas as well.
Okay.
You know, I'm happy for Robbie, but I really wanted him to see him fight Jackson Randall.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Jackson just has to go pro. So
yeah, that'd be a good fight too. So, that's our pro card right there.
That's Murderer's Row, Cody.
Yeah,
insane. Yeah. I mean, you weren't lying. That is hands down the best card Utah has seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean,
like you said, there's 6 main events on that card.
It's crazy. I'm speechless, man. I'm literally speechless.
So you got a couple amateur fights. Can I be the very first one so we can
just get it out of the way?
Zach's working. He's working you.
I'm working 2 angles that night. I need to get in there and have a good show and do my thing in there. And then I got to find a good seat after for the rest of the night. Win, lose, or draw, there's no downside to that night.
I will be as close to the cage. Whatever table is the closest to the cage is where I will be at. So that's where I'm going to be. So, Cody, what's the best way? I mean, are they going to go to a website to buy tickets? Do they reach out to these fighters? What's going to be
so fighters will so it's looking like we'll probably have tickets probably out. So their Maverick Center was having to get through the comedian show.
Bert
so
Schweitzer.
tickets will probably be available sometime after October 7th.
So next week.
Next week we should have tickets out.
Let's go.
Tickets. Maverick Center always does their tickets through Smith's Ticks, but I would get them through the physical tickets to your fighters. You always have to pay convenience fees and all that stuff with Smith's Ticks.
For sure.
You feel like you get kind of raped on that. So definitely get them physical tickets to the fighters to avoid that $20 upcharge or whatever it is on any sort of concert.
So will we get hard tickets?
Yes, you're going to get hard tickets.
And not even just for the fees. This is how the fighters make their money, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like these guys, I mean, if you're supporting your local fighters when you're buying
So, and then the fighters, they'll have the tables online too, but then through the fighters, all the fighters will have a phone number to call the director of ticketing through the Maverick Center, so that they call in and buy their table through the phone number instead of doing it online. They'll avoid the convenience fee. So
you can just put us down for a table right now.
Yeah,
I'm done. It's done.
Yeah, those tables, individual seats. So we'll get that 3,000 seat capacity packed out.
I have no doubt you're going to have no problem selling 3,000.
That will. Oh, for sure. Will it be streamed?
Yes, it's also going to be streamed online. So
man,
what platform do you guys do that through?
We usually do it through Fight TV, but this go around, Weston Wilson actually developed his own streaming service.
Okay.
I'll have to get I don't have the name of the link or website or whatever it is yet. He's actually done, I think now 5 or 6 different shows. And so we're going to go with Weston this go around using his platform.
Is it like little pay-per-view or is it a free stream?
It'll be a pay-per-view. Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Awesome. Man,
I like it.
This is exciting. This is what we needed right now. Something to look forward to, something to get everybody excited about.
Get our minds off all this other crap and just put on, crazy show Utah scene. So
Zach won't punch me too hard at sparring tomorrow. He's got a fight. He's good. So we're good.
So I mean, I've been seeing some pictures of you in there training. So
I never stopped.
Yeah.
This is.
I mean, Jason in there. I've seen a few pictures of him.
Yeah, I've been getting the itch to go in there and have a little. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the training. I like the camaraderie of the guys. It's awesome.
You can't beat that. So
it's just, I think that it's. I don't say. I guess I can't totally say that. For the most part, there's not a ton of bad blood in the MMA community around here.
Yeah, I would agree.
What I'm super excited about this for the most part is I'm just saying right now, just can't put us in the same quarter with the Mori Academy. But other than that, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
but it's just gonna be that just sounds to me just like an awesome night for just an MMA community to come together. And
for sure.
And it's you know when it's really cool, you get a lot of hype behind cards that there's like animosity and stuff like that, and you can get that. But this is going to have such a bigger effect and a bigger feel of just having a card of like an MMA community being able to come together and celebrate hopefully the return of some normalcy to.
For sure. I mean, some of the up and comers like yourself, some of the those 3 amateur fights on there those are crazy right there.
Bang.
But then it's getting back some of the old guys, some of the guys that hasn't fought, Jason South and Steve Sharp and Skylar Frazier and Jerome Hatch and, some of these guys that haven't fought in a while that, if they want to come back and, have that itch and just, whether they want to do it, maybe it's their last fight. Maybe it's, maybe after this, or they have some motivation to maybe do 1 or 2 more, who knows?
Yeah.
But super cool to see, a lot of the, some of the pioneers of Utah MMA, guys that were, packing the house for UVU back in Showdown back in the day, just all come together and forget about all this bullshit that's out there and just, man, it's going to be a fun night. Really fun night.
I'm excited.
Love it. Love it.
Freak, man. See, this is like how I get. It's like, well, am I more of a fighter or a fan? Like, I always feel like I'm more of a fan than a fighter, to be honest. Like I just love the sport, and I mean that's from a spectator standpoint. Like, everybody's gonna get their money worth?
You're gonna get your money's worth on the 3 amateur fights.
Yeah,
you've gotten your money worth. It's
gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. I mean, so real quick, because my head keeps going back, because I'm trying to time out a weight cut. When will you guys know which date it's going to be, you think?
By tonight.
By tonight?
Yeah.
Okay,
tonight.
cool.
Yeah. So probably about 95% sure it's going to be November 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm planning on. But if I got an extra week, I could eat a little better this weekend.
Yeah. Since I'm hoping for the 21st, but really I think it's going to be November 14th.
Cool. Cool, man. Dude, that's sick, Cody. I first just thank you for coming on and for the opportunity. I've always been a steel fist guy. I love steel fist.
For sure.
I've only fought for them, but I'm excited, and I'm super excited for the challenge too. Myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, so like again, back, there's not a lot of blood in the MMA community. There's a few things here and there, and people have their risks and stuff, but I think getting a card back together, getting the fighters back in there, whether it's getting the amateurs in there, getting the pros in there, and just seeing guys fight again, man, it's gonna be a beautiful night.
It's gonna be an amazing night.
So
I can't wait. Seriously, can't wait. Any shout outs you want to give before we get off of here, Cody? Or
right now, not off the top of my head, seriously, thank you guys, thank, Damage Plan, everything for your podcast, for your clothes, everything, you guys are phenomenal. Love what you guys do for the community, the whole MMA, MMA community as a whole, all the fighters, all the coaches out there, that's had to suffer through this all. But, you know, that still hung in there and, you know, didn't have to shut down. And, you know, all the fighters that, you know, persevered through all of this, they kept training, they stayed ready, that are ready to go. And so finally, you know, we got, you know, fingers crossed this whole card, you know, continues to pan out as is, you know, no injuries, and you gonna see one hell of a night.
The last thing I'm going to say is, Cody, and maybe you could help us with this. If you want some of the fighters or some of the fighters want to, you know, promote, talk, whatever, like, let's get a list of all the fighters besides the two, and we'll have them on the show.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Jason can have those two on the show. I won't be.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. So
but give them the opportunity to sell some tickets
for sure.
Because we do those like kind of like little short, like maybe even like little like 10, 15 minute podcast. They'll just let them post it on their social media, get it up to their friends.
For sure. I think you guys definitely got to get Bobby King and Steven Seiler on there for like an episode, you know, like that's I mean, you're going to have just,
the question is, can we get them on together?
You know, Steven Seiler, you know, was just a wealth. I mean, how many fights that guy have now? Over 50?
When he's just,
over $50 million, UFC veteran, PFL finalist. And you got Bobby King, you know, that's, you know, where his record's at, you know, this win propels him right to that next level, you know, and Bobby wins this, you know, his next fight's, it's going to be on a major organization. So
that dude, you're going to see him PFL, Bellator.
For sure.
Yeah. He's next
for
level.
sure. You know,
Dana White Contender Series could be a real thing for him.
You beat Seiler, you know, have that, but you know,
If Dana White was ever going to watch a show from Utah, he needs to tune into this one because
you know what we need to start as we're promoting this. We just need to start tagging Dana White and all this. Let's see if we could just get him to come up to Salt Lake for a show.
Yep.
Somebody
and just come watch the show. So,
heck yeah, man.
I do have a little. Well, we'll see it. More than likely or not, it sounds like that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson might be at the event.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
he'll have to come on the podcast then too.
Yeah. If I can get that confirmed, I'll see what I can do and get you guys in touch with him. It sounds like he might be coming out for the show.
That'd be awesome, man. That would be.
Holy crap, Cody! You've outdone yourself, sir.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So, excited for this one. You know, long time coming, and like I said, we love promoting pros, the amateurs here, and just want to keep moving forward and put on more shows again.
That's crazy. Thank you so much, Cody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you a lot, Cody. Appreciate it once again.
Absolutely. Look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Roger that. We out.
All righty.